In our previous episodes, we have often referred to the works of Neville Goddard. In this episode, I will explain the teachings of Neville Goddard in a way that you may not have heard before. You see, many of Neville's teachings are quite misunderstood. The primary reason why so is because he lived between 1905 and 1972. At that time, technology was obviously not as advanced as now. So, his work was not recorded and distributed as efficiently as we see done for law of attraction teachers nowadays. How most people in current times learn about Neville Goddard's teachings is by going on YouTube and listening to his lectures. Even worse, listening to parts of his lectures made into shorter videos. The problem that often occurs is that Neville mentions a critical component of conscious manifestation in one lecture and then references that concept without going into full details in another lecture. So, unless you have read his books and extensively studied his work, you may have misunderstood or understated the importance of some of manifestation components Neville talks about. Today, we will clear those misconceptions. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification icon so that you do not miss many more important law of attraction videos that are posted on this channel. Also, please like this video as this helps the channel grow. Now, without further ado, let's dive in. At first, let's address the most common technique of Neville Goddard that he teaches to his students to manifest desires. He asks his audience to formulate an end scene that encompasses the idea that your desire has been fulfilled. He instructs you to use all your senses and feel the entire situation with as much vividness as possible. He says that the most effective time to do this is when you are in a drowsy state right before falling off to sleep. He calls this drowsy state akin to sleep, which has become popularly known within the law of attraction community as SATs. One other thing that Neville teaches is that human consciousness moves from one mental state to another. Whatever mental state that a man possesses, his manifestations will be correspondent of that state. Now, within what we just talked about, there is a lot to discern and break down. Firstly, state akin to sleep is important. But it is not the only way to visualize. If you read his books, you will see that Neville mentioned your manifestations are the result of your relaxed imagination. He puts a lot of emphasis on relaxation. One of the methods of relaxed imagination is state akin to sleep. As I have practiced Neville's teaching for many years, I have noticed that controlling your end scene in the state akin to sleep is not easy. Also, do you really have to wait till the next night to visualize before going to sleep? No, as long as you can calm and relax yourself, you are good to go. If you can relax and then visualize, your intentions will manifest just as effectively. Panic or excited visualizations do not do much for manifestations. Next, Neville uses the term feelings quite differently than how we would use the word today. When Neville says feelings, he means actual physical sensations that are felt by the five senses. I have seen some people who understood the fact that Neville refers to feelings as physical sensations but that made them misunderstand the next part. And that is, Neville does not consider emotions to be an important part of the manifestation process. Neville refers to emotions as mental states or moods. Some people think that Neville considered emotions to be unimportant in the process of conscious manifestations. It is quite the contrary. He used visualizations and feelings or physical sensations to enter into a specific emotional state. And he believed that this emotional state was the most important part of the manifestation process. This mental state is what dictated one's outer life and destiny. One thing you may have wondered if you have studied Neville even a little bit is that how often are you supposed to imagine your end scene? Do you do it daily till the manifestation occurs? Do you do it once and let go? Understanding the next bit of the video will allow you to listen to every lecture of Neville in a different light. You will know exactly what to do. Let's begin. The process of manifestation according to Neville is to relax and dim your senses of your current reality. When you relax, you do not care much. Hence, your attachment to the current reality is loose. Then you imagine the end scene by involving all your physical senses. The end scene would be something that encompasses the idea that your desire has manifested. There are primarily two types of end scenes that Neville talks about. 1. A conversation with a friend where you are telling or hearing someone confirming that your desire has been fulfilled. An end scene of the experience itself. For example, if you wanted to go on a vacation at a tropical beach, you imagine the warm wind, feel the water, visualize the ocean, etc. Whichever type of end scene you choose, you must then allow the emotions to be generated within you. This is what Neville called a mood or a mental, emotional state. Once you have achieved that emotional state, do not worry about the rest and keep that emotion going. Let me explain this a bit further with the use of my own experience. Imagine you want to manifest a vacation at a tropical beach. Once you have visualized the end scene, you may experience emotions of ease, freedom, luxury of time, freshness of nature, etc. Once you have received that emotion, then just focus on the ease, freedom, luxury of time, freshness of nature. You do not have to visualize again. In the beginning of the practice, you may feel like you are falling out of the emotional states. That is when you repeat the process of relaxing and visualizing to get into the emotional state. Once the emotional state is your dominant state, Neville generally referred to it as getting into a mood. You do not need to do anything else. Your intention must manifest as it is the law, Neville says. In the following episode, I will cover Abraham Hicks. Due to the misunderstandings of Neville's teachings, many have thought Neville's ways are very different from Abraham Hicks. It is quite the contrary, both are very similar. Abraham provides a lot more techniques and they have been recorded well due to the availability of technology. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon so that you never miss any law of attraction videos that will be posted on this channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time, happy manifesting.